day 2 was also your 15-15 bucking battle. And what a 15-15 bucking battle it was. Caleb Sanderson would take Ty Pozzelbaum's spot and would go up against David's Dream. Robson Palermo would go up against Perfect Poison. Hav Stewart on the back of Buck Off. Justin Kuhn on the back of Meat Hook. Stormy Wing would have Rango. Luke Snyder would have Asteroid. Ryan Dirty Eater on the back of Trainwreck. Renato Nunes on High Octane Hurricane. Fabiano Vieira on the back of Mulligan Man. Austin Meyer on the back of Bucky. Mike Lee would take Marco Okuchi's spot on the back of Quiet Riot. Guilherme Machi would be on the back of Rock and Roll. LJ Jenkins would be on the back of Palm Springs. Silvano Alves will be on the back of Jack Daniels, Tennessee Honey, and a very not controversial, but he might have been in better shape if he had rode, but he doesn't. Valderon de Oliveira does not ride SmackDown. He gives up the 15-15 bucking battle. Jordan Hutt would take Valderon de Oliveira's spot. Valderon de Oliveira later on would regret the decision. He would admit that he made a bad choice, and Jordan Hutt would be on the back of SmackDown, not Valderon de Oliveira. So here we go. Caleb Sanderson taking Ty Pozzelbaum's spot on the back of Davis Dream. Gets bucked off 2.43 seconds. Robson Palermo would be on the back of Perfect Poison. 1.5 seconds because Robson Palermo would slap Perfect Poison in that time. Hav Stewart would get bucked off of Buck Off. 7.46 seconds. Justin Kuhn would be on the back of Meat Hook. I already said, if your name is Meat Hook, you better be a rank bull, and he is. 2.26 seconds takes care of Justin Kuhn. Stormy Wing will get on the back of Rango. We all know how tough Rango is. Rango gave a 94-point ride to Valderon de Oliveira. Could do the same thing with Stormy Wing, but Stormy Wing wouldn't ride him. 7.27 seconds, very close, but didn't get it done. Luke Snyder on the back of Asteroid. Their first time meeting up. Luke Snyder will get bucked off Asteroid, 1.88 seconds. Ryan Dirty Eater would be on the back of Trainwreck. Trainwreck would hit the chutes and everything else in 1.26 seconds would buck off Ryan Dirty Eater, but Ryan Dirty Eater was like, enough is enough. You know, I'm not going to take the re-ride. I'm just going to count my lumps and see you later. Renato Nunez would be on the back of High Octane Hurricane. 5.16 seconds he would get bucked off. Fabiano Vieira would be on the back of Mulligan Man. 1.42 seconds. Now we'll bring up Austin Meyer on the back of Bucky. Austin Meyer on the back of Bucky, and Bucky would take care of Austin Meyer. 4.49 seconds. Do you see? Not one ride yet. Unbelievable. Mike Lee would take Marco Okuchi's spot on the back of Quiet Riot. 2.84 seconds. Can we have a ride, people? We're already through, almost through the 15 here. Guilherme Machi would be on the back of Rock and Roll. Guilherme Machi will get bucked off. 4.56 seconds. LJ Jenkins on the back of Palm Springs. This is actually a rematch. These two have met up before. LJ Jenkins says, I can ride this bull. No problem. Well, guess what? Palm Springs takes care of him. 2.61 seconds. 13 bull riders down, and the bulls are winning. None of these bull riders have scored until we get to Silvano Alves, your 2011 PBR World Champion. Silvano Alves will get on the back of Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey. And I'm going to tell you what, I know I've dogged Silvano Alves a few times for not taking his re-rides. And, you know, and it's just, you know, one of those things where, you know, I always say this is your job. Maybe, you know, you do it to the best you can. But, you know something, Silvano Alves has a plan, and it's working. But Silvano Alves can ride these ranked bulls. And we see it right here. Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey, a 90.25 points. He rides Jack Daniels Tennessee Honey, which would bring up Jordan Hutt and SmackDown. Jordan Hutt will get bucked off SmackDown, 3.62 seconds. Silvano Alves would be your 15-15 bucking battle champion. Which would bring us into day 3. But before we get into day 3, I want to make sure that you go to, make sure you visit FordInvasion.com, and while you're there, you need to enter for a chance to win a trip of a lifetime, an all-expense paid trip to the 2012 PBR Ford Built Tough World Finals in Las Vegas, and a chance to win a 2012 Ford F-150 SVT Raptor. So make sure you enter to win today. FordInvasion.com, and take your chance to win. I know I did it. I took my chance to win, and we'll just have to see and wait and see. But we have it day 3. We're going into day 3. Like I said, you know something? Luke Snyder would get his second bull ride on the back of Blonde Bomber, and he would scored 88 3/4 points, and he would get, like I said, you would need 2 bull rides to get into the Ford Built Tough round. It was looking like, you know something? Bud Williamson on his second event, he would be on the back of Rush Hour, and he would get bucked off Rush Hour 3.38 seconds. Didn't do too well this event. Doesn't get any bull rides under his belt, but you know something? Bud Williamson's going to be back, and you know, this was just his second event in the Ford Built Tough series. Renato Nunez would get on the back of Funeral Wagon. Renato Nunez would ride Funeral Wagon, 87 1/4 points, and he would be the first bull rider to ride 3 bulls for a total score of 259 1/2 points. Then you have Ben Jones. Ben Jones on the back of Tick. Ben Jones would be your second bull. Well, actually, he would be your third bull rider because Valderon de Oliveira on the back of Redman would ride his third bull for an 84 points, which would give him 260 points. But then Ben Jones would get on the back of Tick, and he would ride Tick for 87 1/2 points for 254 1/4 points. Ben Jones is doing absolutely amazing. Ever since he hooked up with the Brazilians, he has been riding bulls like crazy. Good for Ben Jones. Silvano Alves, would be a rematch from last week. He was on the back of Megaton. He rides Megaton for an 85 points. Give him his 85 1/2 points from previously. He would ride 2 bulls, 170 1/2 points. L.J. Jenkins originally would not get a bull score. L.J. Jenkins was on the back of Bad Blake. 7.91 seconds is what the clock stated. Now, L.J. Jenkins was like, wait a minute, I rode this bull. There would be a challenge. L.J. Jenkins would challenge. They would look, and they would say that there was a discrepancy. There was like a 0.3 seconds or something discrepancy, excuse me, on the clock. So when the bull crosses over the chutes, the clock's supposed to start. Well, the clock didn't start. So because of that discrepancy, it was enough to give L.J. Jenkins the seconds that he missed. So he would end up getting a score of 86 1/4 points, and he would end up with a 255 1/2 points. I can't read my own writing, but it would be enough to give him his third bull ride, and get him into the Ford Built Tough round. Cody Nance will get bucked off of DeWalt Guaranteed Tough. Cody Nance only rode his first bull, was heebie-jeebie for 90 1/2 points. Chad Bestplug would get on the back of Stanley Fat Max because Ryan Dirt Eater could not ride. He would get bucked off at 1.59 seconds. Also, Ty Posselborn did not ride because of his injury, and Robson Palermo would get on the back of Comanche, but he would not get a score for a slap. So anyway, that brings you to the Ford Built Tough round, and your Ford Built Tough round would look like this. Now, you got to understand something. There were some guys that were hurt that couldn't go. So you had Robson Palermo who couldn't go, and you had Guilherme Machi who qualified 10th but couldn't go. Guillermo Machi was on the back of Bono, 3.60 seconds. He would end up with 164.5 points. It would be good enough to get into the Fort Bill Tough Round, like you said, 2 bull rides. He would qualify 10th, but he was hurting after he got off of Bono, so it would actually go to Stormy Wing. But Stormy Wing, thinking that he didn't make the Fort Bill Tough Round after he was on the back of Rack City and gets pucked off of Rack City, he only gets 1 bull ride, which was an 88.5 points. He gets pucked off of Rack City, 3.88 seconds. This being the event right before the break, he went home. He left. So what happens? Hobbs Stewart ends up taking his place. So Hobbs Stewart ends up becoming your number 10 guy. So here's what it would look like in the Fort Bill Tough Round. Hobbs Stewart would be on the back of Josie Wales. Cody Nance would be on the back of Shepherd Hills Trapper. Jared Craig would be on the back of Red Hot. Savano Alves would have Too Sexy. Fabiano Vieira on Prince Albert. Luke Snyder on the back of Creole Cartel. Ben Jones on the back of Gray Squirrel. L.J. Jenkins would pick Rowdy All Night. Renato Nunez would pick Bucking Machine. And Balderon de Oliveira on the back of Jack Daniels After Party.